The history of the Chinese calendar, known as the lunisolar calendar, spans thousands of years and is rooted in mathematical astronomy. According to ancient legend, Fu Xi made early contributions to Chinese culture, including a primitive calendar based on observations of nature and the stars. Emperor Yao later commissioned the astronomers Xi He to observe the stars and create calendars. However, the formal development of the Chinese calendar system evolved over centuries with significant contributions from various scholars and astronomers. According to records, there are totally 115 ancient Chinese calendars with identifiable names. Now, you may have wondered why calendars were so important in ancient China. Before the Zhou dynasty in ancient China, the primary purpose for calendar making was to track and predict seasonal changes, agricultural cycle, and celestial events essential for farming, rituals, and governance. These early calendars were vital for organizing communal activities, ensuring timely plants and harvesting, and conducting religious ceremonies aligned with the natural cycles of the seasons. They also serve to mark significant celestial events such as solstices and equinoxes, which held spiritual and symbolic importance in ancient Chinese culture. Another reason that the calendar was so important is that it was believed to be a way of mastering the mandate of heaven. This concept, which started during the Zhou dynasty, held that the rulers got their legitimacies from divine approval. All civil services and rituals were meticulously aligned with the celestial rhythms, emphasizing harmony between heaven and earth. The calendar played a crucial role in this harmony, with the ruler serving as a sacred intermediary. A reliable calendar was deemed essential for effective governance, as any failures in predicting celestial events were interpreted as potential signs of governmental instability or divine disfavor. Understanding the importance of calendar in Chinese culture, let's hop in the time machine and explore the brief history of the Chinese calendar today. When talking about the origins of the Chinese calendar, we have to mention the small calendar of the Xia, which was created during the Xia dynasty. The Xia dynasty is considered one of the earliest Chinese dynasties. The small calendar of the Xia refers to a calendar system attributed to the Xia dynasty. It is one of the earliest examples of calendrical science in ancient China. This calendar proposed the idea of a 12-month year, with each accompanied by a short text describing the configuration and movement of the stars, meteorological phenomena, phenology, as well as agricultural and political activities. After the Xia dynasty, the Shang dynasty introduced the sexagenary cycle, or Ganzhi, pairing 10 celestial stems with 12 zodiac animals. This early lunisolar calendar, documented in oracle bone scripts, with the solar year lasting about 366 days and the lunar months around 29.5 days, is adjusted approximately every 2 or 3 years by adding an extra month to align with the solar year. Today, this system remains integral to Chinese culture. For example, from February 10, 2024 to January 28, 2025, it designates the Jiaqin year, marked by the celestial stem Jia and the zodiac animal dragon Chen. Significant technological advancements occurred during the following Zhou dynasty. The Zhou Bi Suan Jing, or arithmetical classic of the gnomon and the circular paths of heaven, is an ancient Chinese scientific text from this era. It focuses on astronomical observations and calculations, including the use of the gnomon, solar and lunar cycle calculations, and measurement. This text played a crucial role in refining the lunisolar calendar in ancient China. During the later Zhou dynasty, the quarter remainder calendar was invented. This calendar, named for its calculation of the solar year as 365 and a quarter days, offered a more precise measurement than previous systems. Several states developed their own versions of the quarter remainder calendar, differing only in the choice of the starting months for the year. These states were later conquered by Emperor Qin Shi Huang, opening the history of China's unified feudal dynasty. Based on a comparison of different calendars used in the late Zhou dynasty, the Qin dynasty used a version of the quarter remainder calendar called the Zhuanxu calendar. In this calendar, the year starts in the month of the 12th branch, Hai. 7 leap months were inserted every 19 years to adjust the solar year. By 104 BC, based on the Zhuanxu calendar, Emperor Wu of the Han dynasty commissioned the Grand Inception calendar, a milestone in Chinese astronomy and calendar making. This calendar included major elements of future generations' calendars, such as the solar terms. These solar terms divided the year into 24 segments, each about 15 days long, marking significant points in the solar year. This innovation was particularly useful for farmers, offering precise guidelines on the best time to plant and harvest crops. The regulation also stipulated that the first months of the lunar year must be at the turn of winter and spring. This change established the date of the Lunar New Year, also known as the Spring Festival. Emperor Wu of Han also introduced a new system for naming years, incorporating both the sexagenary cycle and era names. Upon ascending the throne, each emperor would designate a new era name, which was then used to denote the year during their reign. For example, during the Tang Dynasty, emperors have used era names such as Kaiyuan, Tianbao, and Guangde. This dual method of naming the year provided a way to reference the time in terms of the emperor's reign, and within the broader cyclical framework of traditional Chinese timekeeping. From the Han Dynasty to the beginning of the Qing Dynasty, numerous calendar reforms were implemented, and many written records of these calendars still exist. With the invention of new observation instruments by Chinese astronomers, such as the armillary sphere of the ecliptic, and new mathematical methods, the accuracy of calendars greatly improved. However, the fundamental principles of calendar formation remained intact until Western methods and datas were introduced. During the reign of Shunzhi in the Qing Dynasty, the Shixian calendar, developed by German missionary and astronomer Johann Adam Schauenbel, was adopted in 1645. The Shixian calendar was based on the knowledge and method brought by Schauenbel and his Jesuit colleagues, integrating elements of Western astronomy with traditional Chinese calendar systems. This adoption demonstrated the Qing dynasty's openness to foreign expertise and collaboration. During the reign of Kangxi, Belgian missionary and astronomer Ferdinand Verbiest's work on the Chinese calendar was part of a larger effort to improve its accuracy using Western astronomical techniques. He arrived in China in 1659, and his efforts ensured that the Shixian calendar, which had been abandoned, was further refined and readopted. In 1912, following the fall of the Qing dynasty and the establishment of the Republic of China, efforts were made to modernize China's calendar system. The Gregorian calendar, introduced by Pope Gregory XIII in 1582, was officially adopted for civil use, replacing the traditional Chinese calendar in most official contexts. Today, despite the adoption of the Gregorian calendar, the Chinese calendar remains important for traditional holidays, festivals, agriculture, astrology, and various aspects of daily life in China and among Chinese communities worldwide. From the ancient mythologies to today, we've witnessed China's continuous research on the universe since ancient times. Chinese people have constantly improved scientific methods to measure the movement of celestial bodies and make calendars. This deep-rooted fascination with the mysteries of the universe in Chinese culture has enabled China to actively develop aerospace technology in the modern scientific and technological era. If you enjoyed this video, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. We have lots of exciting content coming your way, and we'd love for you to join our community. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.